Hi everybody, welcome to another video on my channel. I'm T Commando, thank you for tuning in. What I've got right here is the saucer with all the overall dry dock paint masks applied. But before that, I'm going to go ahead and show you how the neck masks are applied. I lost my original introduction videos, so I'm reshooting the intro. So we'll go over to the neck masks, putting the putty on the saucer, and then prepping these masks for use, and then we'll get back to this and I'll show you how to paint them. Alright, now you can see I've done a little bit of work here. I kind of got a little carried away and I didn't exactly have any good times or places to film. But what you want to do is you want to kind of peel it back if you have to, cut it up kind of like I did here. And you can also see right here on the actual mask. Do it in sections if you have to. So you just want to take that off. And they say, don't let the actual mask touch until you're ready to put it in place. I think something kind of has to touch. It doesn't have to be the actual mask, maybe like an edge. So just kind of get that down as best as you can. And now, probably one of the harder parts is taking it off. Especially if it's a large section. Alright. So yeah, once you kind of get started, then it's a whole lot easier. If the mask comes up partially, you can always roll it forward and then press it back down. So yeah, once you kind of get it started, it's a whole lot easier. Especially when you can hold down the masks. And yeah, once again, if it gets stuck, you can always roll it forward and then hold it back down. And what's also nice about these is they can easily reposition these. Alright. So that is the application of the masks, and you can see that we have one coming off right here. As long as you have your little coloring book, you can find out what that piece is and where to put it back. So that was one of these pieces. So that's the application of the masks, and then after that you want to remove your unwanted material, and that's again where the coloring book comes in handy. You just kind of color in the pattern that you want to show through. In my case, I shade in the stuff that I want to keep on the model while I paint, and so the empty stuff is where paint will show through. So that has been part 3 of my model build series, if I am remembering correctly, and I will see you in my next video. Alright, now I am currently in the process of getting the saucer sealed up. these little, if I can even get a good view of them. Man, okay, there we go. These little thruster ports right here, I'm going to fill those in with a little bit of super glue. I was thinking of using the parts, but I'm like, oh, that's right, I can use the super glue because the surface tension will hold it there. So yeah, once I get the rest of this done, I'll be right back. Oh, I also did a little bit of putty work on my nacelles. I got it painted, and then I went back and did some even finer work to fill in the imperfections. Yeah. Working with putty is also a little bit of an art. So, once this is done, I will be right back with you, and we will get down to the putty work of the saucer. See ya. Okay, I forgot to show you me putting on the putty, but yeah. What you kind of do when applying the putty is pretty straightforward. Just put a little on your finger, and then you run it along here. And actually, before you do that, you want to make sure you sand your surfaces as smooth as you can before you start. And then apply at least 2 coats of putty, because it'll shrink up a little bit when it's drying. And then after that, you're going to want to take your sandpaper. Now, I would suggest starting with 320, going to 400, and then down to 1,000. You know, and I say 400 then to 1,000 to make it as smooth as possible. So, then we will get the saucer mounted after the Aztec painting is done, and I will show you how to apply those masks and how you want to paint the actual Aztec color. All that coming up in the next section of the video. Yeah, a quick note before we start. Make sure that your hull is sprayed excuse me, with some clear coat, because if you have an enamel, enamels don't let stuff stick very well, and these are rather low tack, and you also have to try to keep that dust down to a minimal level, so that way you don't lose adhesion on these masks. So just keep that in mind. Alright, you can see that I've got some of these saucer masks already kind of prepped here, and I have a couple of them on the saucer, and if you look hard enough, you can see that I've already done some of these saucer Aztec painting. Considering the conditions that the masks were in, I hadn't sanded the surface properly, it actually turned out better than I thought it was going to turn out. And so, one of the things you want to do is make sure that you sand your surface smooth, so that way you have more surface area of the masks actually touching the surface of the ship, so that way they'll stick better. And also make sure that you don't constantly apply them and then reapply them, because that'll take off the adhesive. And so, what's been going on here with the saucer masks is I've just been weeding material, and by weeding that means removing unwanted material, into these patterns. Now they have to be opposite of each other because you're going to be placing them next to each other. So we have one that looks like this next to one that looks like this. And now if you happen to have 2 of these next to each other, you can use one of them as a helpful reference as to what you need to peel off. So I'm just going to just kind of take off a little section here, if I can do this one-handed. I think doing this would probably be a little bit more helpful if I had a camera person. But nobody wants to help me tonight. I think just to make it easier, we're gonna do this. And yeah. Definitely need a camera guy here because I cannot keep this in frame. But nobody wants to help me. So you just keep on doing that until you get all the way up to the top. Then you use this one as a helpful reference to help you create the next pattern and make sure it's correct. So once I have done all this, I will show you how to apply the saucer masks specifically. And that is coming up shortly. Alright, now I apologize for how loud it is in here. The ventilation system is turned on right here. It's really bad. It's Gold's Tech Shop. Don't listen to that guy you just heard. So now we're going to paint the Aztec panels on our saucer. Now I haven't seen on here for a while, so they kind of curled up. So I want to be extra careful when I'm painting them. Now we're painting this, you just want to hold your can about a foot away from the saucer until you get the desired effect. Now, of course, I'm doing a two-color pattern, and I asked the guy at Overall Dry Dock what color to use. He recommended cadmium pearlescent white, and so far I've been happy with the results. So just let's go ahead and press some of the tabs down, and then I'll get right on with painting it. You only need like a few passes. When you're done, you should paper your can and until it sprays clear. So that's pretty much what you gotta do when you paint your Aztecs. Hold it at distance, give it 15 ounces, and you'll have your desired effect. Thank you for watching. I will see you in part 5, where we'll paint the Aztecs, and then we'll get it all put together.